Welcome to an all-new episode of Indie Spotlight. Today I'm going to be talking about the short film Enter the Room, written and directed by Harry Waldman. I had the pleasure of seeing Enter the Room, and I have to say, this is a fascinating 15-minute short film. Harry Waldman does so much with the limited resources he has. He crafts a wonderful story. It pretty much involves these characters of Brian and Jeremy. Brian lives in this apartment, and Jeremy is his brother. He has to live with him for 2 weeks until he finds a job. And Brian is kind of annoyed at Jeremy's little habits, And at the same time, Jeremy's frustrated with Brian being so uptight about every little thing. And one thing that this film does is it showcases the kind of nerves and stress that comes with living with a roommate, whether that's family living with you or a complete stranger. I know I had my horror stories back in college of living with some crazy roommates, so to speak. Yeah, there's some toxic roommates. Everybody has lived with a roommate that might have gotten under your nerves, and you just have to deal with that or deal with their boundaries and rules. You can respect that, but some people are a little uptight and kind of control freaks. So that conveys that brilliantly. You get Brian and Jeremy kind of representing two different types of people, and wherever you lie on your own individual characteristics, you can relate to one or the other. But I like the limited use of space here. It's all in this apartment, but the space is used in an efficient way, and it's not all shaky cam. It's mostly static frame shots that are done very well. I love the opening. There is a wide shot that's introduced. Other films would go to close-ups. This shows you the distance between the two characters already, and how even though they're family, Brian doesn't really feel that close to Jeremy being in his space, at this moment. And I love that, and I love the use of color in the cinematography. Now, there are some flashing light effects that are pretty trippy, but I have to say they work because they basically show the visual manifestation of someone's psychology and stress of dealing with a roommate and their little habits and it getting on your last nerve. The actors do a wonderful job. You have Peter Masney as Brian. I hope I said his name right. Brian does a great job in this. You get to see his little idiosyncrasies of things that begin to annoy him, whether it's body language or the use of his speech, the rate of his speech, where he's just like, would you try not doing that? I need to go to sleep. You can see him getting aggravated throughout the film. And then Jeremy, played by Rich Holton, does a fantastic job as well, coming in, being like, hey, I'm going to live here for 2 weeks. I'm going to try to find a job. I'm not going to be too much trouble. And him kind of apologizing for stepping over a boundary of Brian's, And Jeremy, after a while, is just like, dude, what's your problem? You're uptight. And you get to see the conflict between these two individuals. Now, I'm not going to be going into spoilers, but there's more than meets the eye here in this film, and I love how it slowly starts to build up with the stress, with the chaos. It's kind of like the feature film Night Bitch with Amy Adams, when she's taking care of her kid, and you get to see what life is like day in, day out with the same routine, being a mother, having a newborn kid. They kind of do something like that. Harry Waldman does a great job at editing this, where it's frantic. You have use of effects, use of color, but you get to be in that routine of God, this person's really annoying me, and I wish they weren't in my space doing this. I wish they would just be like this instead of this. And you get to see that, but then you also get to see Jeremy's POV, where he's just like, I wish this guy wasn't a control freak. I'm just going to be here for 2 weeks. This guy's taking everything so damn seriously. So that's beautiful seeing how that's presented in this film. And this was done by Edgewater Film Productions and Bridgeport Film Club. The cast and crew all did an amazing job on this film. And I have to say, it really gets your attention. And I'm just impressed at the limited resources. This is why I love independent film. And this is a great indie film. It's played in certain festivals, and it might be available online soon. But if you check it out at a festival or see it online, I highly recommend it once it's out. And check out Harry Waldman's other work. Seriously, he is a filmmaker to watch out for. I can't wait to see his future works, including the upcoming film Babe for Blood. This was a nice short that knew a story to tell and used the resources it had to tell a story in an efficient way with plenty of surprises and use of editing. Wow. I highly recommend for everyone to watch this when it's out, and it definitely brought some PTSD with my certain past experiences with roommates. I'm sure everybody out there will find something to relate to in these characters and situations. Yeah, sometimes it did feel that stressful. I just never seen it visually presented in this way, so yeah. Overall, this was a fun short, and the cast and crew did an amazing job. I highly recommend everyone checking it out. And yeah, go support independent film and any aspiring filmmakers out there. How do you make your dreams become a reality? The same way you start a movie scene. Action. Go out there and make your film. Share your stories. Share your perspective. Because the way the world is right now, we all need storytellers. We all need each other. So go ahead and do that. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Till next time.